Yes, we've lashed right out and bought a professional level microphone. I know it's probably overkill for a bloke like me that's a bit ordinary sitting out the back. I would sit inside, but the guard dogs chase me outside all the time. And the fact that I spread out with a whole heap of gear over a table. That's possibly got something to do with it as well. But them's the breaks and what you get on the big jobs. So here we are on the 31st of May, 2021. We're almost halfway through the year. Tomorrow, it's the 1st of June. Wow. How did that happen? It's just really snuck up on us. So anyway, we need to just keep right on doing what we're doing and making sure that everybody keeps up to speed with what's being added to the website and where all of the new direction is coming from, what's going to deliver benefits for our members. We are really excited by what's happening, and it will absolutely deliver outcomes in the wallet for people that we've never seen before. Really, really exciting stuff. Soon as we have the next two stages contracted and in place, we will turn them on, make them live, and give everybody a demo and show you how it's working. Tonight, we're going to show you some of the new things that we are testing, but they're not live yet. So here we go. Everyone goes forward together. Make sure you don't ever forget that. Welcome everybody to another Gold Monday. Great to see you here. Let's see if we can't start now that we have the new website working, that people can start to register people and make it all work. So let's get right amongst this and see why we're here. There we go. Great little video. New version coming soon. I keep thinking that we'll have it for the next week, but I'm pretty heavily committed to making some upgrades in the website, and that has been really taking my time and focus. And tonight we're going to show you what some of those are. So just a reminder, just because we can, we're going to tell you again, this is our opinion. We have discovered a number of ways to work with gold and silver, and we are expressing our views as affiliates only. We do not represent any of the companies we affiliate with. We do not give financial advice. So this is for education purposes only. What you choose to do with that information is entirely up to you. We hope that you use it to your advantage. Automatic orders. Now, we've been testing this heavily in the last week, and we have now one more thing which I think we'll get sorted this week to tie in the automatic orders into our existing shopping cart. So the actual automatic order itself is working and the shopping cart's working. Now we've just got to weld them together. All you'll need to do is a bank transfer. So make sure that you understand the simplicity of this. And we're going to talk about some other of the order processes tonight. But everything else is automatic. When you transfer the money with your order number in the reference, it will completely process. So it takes away from having to go to the website and set something up. So we are heavily testing that right now. Here's some e-wallet modifications, but they are not live yet. We are working on them. We are testing them as I have screenshots to show you. So you can see in here that we have a couple of red numbers in this e-wallet statement. And those numbers are for, in that instance, I have purchased metal with that $50. So that means that my e-wallet has become a payment process. That's not live quite yet. We're working on it, testing it, flogging it around a few people. We even got Dan to do one, and that seemed to work. So we're chewing through that as well. So make sure that you understand these things are coming. There you will see we've been able to set the e-wallets up so that you can get member benefits from the merchants that you use that take part in what we do. Really simple process. So the merchant will transfer dollars per se into your e-wallet, and you will then be able to turn that around and buy gold or silver with it, whichever one you want. So you need to make sure that once this goes live that you fully understand how to drive it. It is really simple, but you will need to go through and just test it, send some to somebody and they can send it back to you. Make sure you understand how it works. So Jan's just mentioned that it showed up in her statement because that was transferred from my e-wallet into Jan's, and it worked and showed up, and it shows you, let me just get this here little laser pointer going again. Laser pointer. Here is what shows up in your e-wallet. So benefit for Skippy Pest Control. So Dan and Jan are providing 5%. We're calling it gold back, but it's actually gold or silver. You get to choose what you want to do with it. And it has taken us a while to get this to work smoothly, but it is coming together. And when all of these pieces glue into one interface, it will be really simple. We need to make sure that everybody else can do it. Hence, we've had Jan and Dan and Graham Duck and Cassie and myself and Brad Saravalli did one for us the other day, just to make sure that it's not just working on my computer or on our developer's system. It actually works. So we've had to make sure that we really go through this heavily. It's intense, it's time consuming, but it's well worth it. It's really, really coming along fantastically well. We are going to be able to move metal as well, backwards and forwards. Can't quite do it yet. We're heavily involved in getting this bit to work, then we'll have the metal sorted. But the code for the e-wallet will work the same as the metal. So it's only a matter of following through, redoing the code, changing it from e-wallet to gold or silver. And in theory, I say that very carefully, in theory, it should work very quickly and very easily. We've put a lot of effort into making sure that this stuff happens, that it actually comes together. And I hope in the next week or so, we will have even further news about the online wallet and what you can do with it. We have started the designing of the back end of the online wallet for the cryptocurrency. So got a lot of balls in the air at the moment. I apologize for the fact that it takes as long as it does, but as they say, if it was easy, everybody else would have done it before us. We are onto it, and we're not going to give up until it's completed. Okay, need to point out a few things about the end of month. So there are qualifications in the AU4U system for the loyalty program and the arbitrage and the lifestyle rewards program. So you need to make sure that you're doing 1 BV per month to qualify. So the arbitrage is for 3 months only. And it's not running quite yet, so nobody's missing out on anything. The loyalty program is a 12-month package, so you have to do 1 BV per month for 12 months, and then you split up what's on the dashboard. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But remember that the end of month is the end of month. Up until now, we've been able to modify some of the numbers, but sadly, yesterday, we had a whole bunch of people that thought, oh, it's the end of the month. I know. We'll send a text, call somebody, email somebody, and we'll get that done somehow. Can't work like that anymore. It is absolutely the end of the month is going to be the end of the month. We can't modify the history. So yesterday's events ordinarily would not have been a major drama, except everybody that did it forgot something. Like, damn, was I going to order gold or silver? Was I going to actually place the order myself? Folks, we need to get involved in the website and make it work. If you need help learning the system, we have a number of videos. We can do Zoom calls, all that sort of stuff. But we are beyond the point where we can just fix something if you've missed it. I would love to, Kate. Yes, indeed. Who would forget things like that, or even perhaps their name? Yeah, it's been known to happen. So let's spell this out, exactly what you need to do. There is a cutoff date, an absolute cutoff date. It's midday on the last weekday of the month. Now, it's easy for me to say it's midday on the last weekday of the month. However, you need to understand what you've got to do before that. You need to have the order placed. Log into your account. Step yourself through the shopping cart. Shortly, with the automatic orders, you won't even have to do that. But you've got to get the order placed. The payment must be received and processed. before midday on the last weekday of the month. That's why we've been hammering to get this done early. And the order has to be processed and handed on to the vault for it to count. So there's 2 or 3 people that called me yesterday, and I was of the understanding that they knew they had to order before they could do anything. And apparently they thought they didn't have to actually place the order. So sadly, the information I gave them isn't really accurate because they hadn't placed the order. So we need to just step up and make sure that that happens so that our admin has a chance to make it work. It's a whole lot of pressure, particularly for Cassie, who has to coordinate all of that at the moment. So once we have it digitally organized and it's happening automatically, we won't even be able to interact with it. So it's well and good for it to be working for 5 or 6 people like that, but really we need to, that's why we built automatic orders, because you can actually run the entire program without having to go to the website. Do not leave it to the last day. I will do everything I can to make sure that those people that called me yesterday get credit, but I may not be able to make it happen because there was a whole lot of information missing. Okay, don't rely on the last day. Don't rely on the last day. If you call me and ask about it, remember, I'm guessing that you can place the order all by yourself. We've gone through it a number of times. I'm going to run through the video again tonight so you know how that works. If you cannot do that, it will be very difficult to achieve an order in the last days of the month, because there are numbers of people that did it this month, and I was shocked because I didn't think it was that hard to actually get on the website and place the order. This is why I keep rabbiting on about the 20th. Now, Brad Saravalli is just suggesting that we should all do it on week 1 of the month. Then there's no stampede at the end of the month. The earlier you do it, the easier it is, and the less pressure you put on the supply chain. If you're trying to get it done on the last day, it's very, very difficult. So let's talk about one of our merchants. And I know Dan McCloskey, yes, Chris McCabe, you can do 2 orders a month if you want. I know Dan McCloskey will be excited by this because I was getting this ready tonight and I realized KO, the sports streaming app, has a gift card. And we get gold back for it. I'm not sure what the percentage is on it. I would need to check with Cassie. But yeah, I've watched some basketball and that in the last couple of weeks, and we watched some AFL and things like that. So we need to make sure that you understand all of the options that are here with this merchant. eBay. How many people on here have used eBay in the last month? We did some, we got a jacket for Dan McCloskey and to get embroidered, and we bought it through eBay and used one of these gift cards. So we created a gold transaction while we were buying what we were going to buy anyway. And Dan Murphy's red wine, Dan, it's good for you. Get some resveratrol into you. It's absolutely good for your heart. Rum, on the other hand, it's sticky. So you just don't want to be doing that. But Dan Murphy's, most people go there at some point. So where's, oh, and Endota Spa. Look at that. Endota Spa for the ladies. That's a pretty good little system. And all of those are available 24/7. And when you get on to the next page, got Rebel Sports, BCF, and Super Cheap. What else is there? With the cards we had before in those three, man, we've just got life sorted. JB Hi-Fi, Woolies, Amazon, everything that most people buy now are in those gift cards. Webjet's there. There's a number of travel merchants that have gift cards in the system. And that's really interesting because I really wanted to go to Melbourne this week, but I've changed my mind. I don't think I will. I may, in fact, have to get on a plane and go overseas soonish, but we will wait and see what's happening with our Heineken flu situation, because at the moment, nobody really knows what's going on, and it's bizarre to say the least. Cassie operates out of Waranga, west of Toowoomba Dalby. That's why the phone reception is spotty at best. I mean, spotty at best. So make sure that you understand. Sometimes when you call her, I called her twice today, and when she answered, it was speaking gibberish Chinese. And she had to hang up and call me back, and then it worked. So the phone system out there is not great. We're dealing with it. Righto. Why are we here? We are a group of like-minded people focused on ensuring we survive the economic turmoil around us. The world changes. Why do you think we should pay attention to that? Well, have a look at some of these headlines that I took a snip of today. Get ready, your salary will buy you nothing as national inflation increases. They're talking about some scary numbers, and we'll go through some of that in a moment. Gold is up $220 in 2 months. Not bad. And they're talking about it going to really silly numbers in the next few months. Massive inflation and currency debasement. Currency debasement means the value of the currency is declining rapidly. And again, we're going to talk about that in moments. Now, there's been some discussion because of what's happened with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the crypto market took off. And this guy talked about the fact that some people are claiming gold has lost its safe haven status. And he goes into this conversation and proves how silly that statement really is. Central banks are still madly buying gold. They're not investing in Bitcoin. They are buying gold. So gold still holds the status that it has maintained for 5,000 years. That's why we're focused on real physical metal. Here we are with Mr. Menarino, and he came out on the weekend and basically said the cratering in the US economy is rapidly speeding up. It's just accelerating. And the numbers that the government publishes simply do not add up and can be easily proven that they are incorrect. So I'd really love to have an answer as to what's going to happen in the near future. I don't have one. This is a really, really disturbing period for us to be in. And here we are, the end of cash. Will modern monetary theory begin in 2021? I think it already has. The US dollar's lost 99% of its value. And in some cases, you can justify that and say that, yes, it looks like it has. It maybe not be 99, but it's really close to that. So let's look at some of the numbers. Our governments, Australian, US, UK, or you pick the major governments of the world, they're talking about controlling inflation so that it's around 2% year on year. Well, let's actually have a look at some numbers that impact us, and you decide what you think inflation is. They've taken out nearly all of the things that we buy that may affect us day to day. Have a look at these numbers. They are scary. This is second-hand vehicles in America. So in the last 30 days, they have increased in price. Pickups, 7.5, four-wheel drives, 6.16% in 30 days. That's insane. You could make a living buying and selling used cars. It's crazy. It's just bizarre that it's that big a gap. Have a look at the last 90 days. 15%. Yes, Martin, arbitrage second-hand vehicles. 15% in 90 days. That's crazy. What about year on year? Oh, let's go and buy an F100. Gone up 42% in a year. These are second-hand vehicles. They're not supposed to go up in value unless they're collectible or rare. 42%. It's just ridiculous. And yes, Brad's commented that Schweppes have just reduced their bottle sizes from 1.25 to 1.1 litres, but the price is the same. They call it shrinkflation. It's beyond silly how bad these numbers are getting, and our government still thinks we don't notice it, because that's what the graph looks like. Now, this is not Bitcoin. This is not Ethereum or something like that. This is the price of second-hand vehicles. Manheim Used Vehicle Value Index. Have a look at that vertical line. Where will it end, do you think? That is just silly. And the government is still trying to convince us that it's below 2% a year. Please, please, please. If you get the opportunity to slap a politician, I think it's a really good idea. It's just bizarre. I don't quite grasp how the government can publish those numbers and actually stand up and talk about it, that it's 2%. It's silly. Oh, dearie me. So how much value has the US dollar lost? And remember, we're tied to the USD. In 1913 is when the Federal Reserve started, and it's actually a privately owned central bank, and it took over the US banking system. What's happened since 1939? It's been pretty much downhill since then. And on this website, they were stating that it's lost 96% of its value since 1913. 96%. That means today's dollar would have been worth less than 4 cents in 1913. They're numbers that, on the one hand, you can look at them and think that's really frightening. On the other hand, I look at it and think, how is it possible that this system, this central bank system that every Western country in the world uses, how is it possible that it's still in place like that when you can look at those numbers and verify them? Just think back to the slides we used a few months ago where we talked about how much groceries have gone up in price. You go to Woolies and buy a shopping cart full of groceries. How much have they gone up in price? It is beyond stupid. Absolutely beyond stupid. Remember, our monetary system is tied to the US dollar. The US dollar is currently the reserve currency of the world. Now, how much longer that's going to stay there is yet to be determined, but it must fail. The current system must fail. There is no turnaround. They have to change it to fix it. We think and we hope that they're going to move to a gold-backed system. That's why we are doing what we're doing with this website. That's why we're tying arbitrage of physical metal and cryptocurrencies into your wallet. So you get revenue in a way that holds value, not in coins, in metal. So let's have a look at what's happened in our world. We will walk through a purchase video because apparently we need to. Let's have a quick run through and see if you pick anything up other than okay, here we go. I'm going to log in. So I go AU4U.gold, hit enter. Now I'm at the login page. So it's already remembered my username and password. So here I am. I've got AU4U.gold, and you've got to type it in this address bar at the top. Do not type it into a search engine. You will not get to this page. So then you click login when you've got your username and password involved. There's your dashboard, and if I go to the e-commerce store, I'm going to slide down and order $10 worth of silver. Add to cart. Now I'm going to click on this. View. If you need to modify, if you realise that you've got too much or too little in there, you click view cart, and then you can modify this number. You can change it to anything you want. Change it to $2, update it. Change it back to $10, update it. So now you've got to that. You want to check out. That's my address. Now I can type in all sorts of notes here. Testing. Terms and conditions. Click continue. And then now here's the bank details to transfer the payment to. I've transferred the payment, so I need to, and I've made a copy of it, so I click choose file. I then find the receipt on my computer wherever I've stored it. I'm going to use this image for the moment, upload it. Now my payment has uploaded successfully, my receipt, and I confirm the order. Now I will have, your order has been placed. Now I will have orders pending that the admin will process for me when the system opens tomorrow. Thank you for watching. There we go. So here we go. Let's have a look at why Gold Rocks and AU4U work together. They do different things. Gold Rocks is a free training and education system. Gold Rocks does the webinars, the functions, all that sort of stuff. AU4U supplies the metal. Now, AU4U currently is owned by a trust, and it is controlled by a trustee company. It's set up that way on purpose to match how the vault works so that nobody can interact with our metal. They have their fingers chopped off. So just make sure that you work it out. So yes, you need to put your username or your mobile phone number in the bank transfer text. And once you've done that, ordering your metal is very, very simple. So in summary, Our gold storage fees and our silver storage fees are zero. Now, I had a coffee with a gentleman a couple of days ago, buys a lot of metal, but he buys it a different way himself from one of the big vaults. And the next thing he was telling me that he does it that way because he saves a few cents per ounce and he sees it as value for himself. So we continued our conversation and drinking our coffee. And then he said, I've got 3,000 ounces of silver in a vault. He said, do you have any idea how much it costs to store that? And I said, yes. That's why we do it the way we do it. We don't pay for that. So all of a sudden, his radar went up and he had to review what he was doing, because with AU4U, it's one price. You don't pay storage, you don't pay insurance. It's all there, and it's in a private vault. So it compares very favorably. We'll periodically do some comparisons. And once the arbitrage kicks in and you start to see the metal appearing in your wallet, you will be able to make an absolute quantifiable comparison, and it's going to blow every other system out of the water. There'll be nothing like it on the planet. The insurance is there. It's full replacement value. There is no minimum. We are literally processing orders through the system for cents, 50 cents, 25 cents. Now, we don't do them individually because that's just silly, but we have worked out a way to do it. So there is no minimum. You don't have to spend $10,000. You can start to make a difference. Now, on that note, something I meant to put in the slideshow tonight, and I forgot all about it till I was just talking about it. The gentleman that I had the coffee with has come from a position of having no money 3 or 4 years ago. And he sat down and read the book by Napoleon Hill, The Richest Man in Babylon. And I've read it a number of times myself, and there's a part of the book where he says, it doesn't matter how much money you make. You have to put some of that aside in a format that you won't spend it. You've got to save in a way that it creates value month on month. So this gentleman started it, and he's now 3.5 years down the road. He's got 3,000 ounces of silver in a vault here in Brisbane. But he's now complaining about the cost of the storage. So we're now back to meeting again this week to talk about switching him over to AU4U. So just a change in mindset. There is a sellback option, and it's on the published spot price. There is a barring fee at the moment. There are bullion bars that you can put in there as part of the system. And there is a tax invoice system in place. Now, all of those things there, we are working on interacting with in our website. I said that there's a barring fee at the moment. Yes, there is. That may actually go down to zero in the very near future. But we are working on that. We are working on a whole lot of things that will change the pricing of what we do. And if we do it properly and we stay focused on it, this will become better than anything you've ever seen in the world. A barring fee is when you buy gold in our system at the moment, Louise, it means that you have pooled gold. So the gold or the silver is in, it's like sand, tiny little pieces of it in a bucket, for example. When you want to convert your sand into a kilo bar, there is a fee to refine that and put it into a bar. It's a couple of dollars, but that bit's not very expensive. The insurance, if you wanted to ship it to where you are, the insurance would be a lot, but we will be able to modify that by potentially sending someone over there with a briefcase. We'll make sure that that all works out. Okay, what about the geographic arbitrage, otherwise known as member benefits? For me to say I'm excited about this would be a severe and gross understatement. It is going to change everything we do, and it will change everything you do, because nobody's ever done this before. It will modify how you think about the price of the metal in a way that really impossible for me to describe it until you sit down and start to think through, what does that actually mean? It means that you as a member will be getting paid in metal. Remember, metal is not taxable until you sell it. You'll be getting paid in metal just to save your own gold and silver. Not going to cost you anything. You're going to get paid that. We're not creating a cryptocurrency that we hope makes money. You'll be getting paid in metal, gold and silver. That simple. So it's really, really exciting. The qualification for it is you've got to have 1 BV per month for 3 months, and you then need to maintain it. If you miss a month, you start again. It's a 3-month qualification process. Currently, our first transaction is in the final stages of being settled. And I know we've been working on this for a while. Yes, we have. Is it that complicated? No, not really, but it's geographic. So if everybody was in Brisbane, I'd be able to get my little travel cup of coffee, drive down the road, get this bit done, and then drive back and then go to the next place tomorrow and come back. I can't, because they're in different countries, different locations, different time zones. And without the team that we have, we wouldn't get this done. It's so difficult to grasp the simplicity and the difficulty of it. For example, Mr. Duck just loves it when somebody calls him at 3 o'clock in the morning, because they've just come out of the mine and it's dark where they've been, so they don't think anything of it. So without that team environment, we would not get this done. It is exciting. Remember, if it was easy, it would have happened already. So we're working on it. And make sure that you understand the member benefits will result. So yes, Steve, I'll come back to this. We're going to do a little video. It came about today from how we talked about it. We can't put credit cards transactions in the AU4U website. As soon as we do that, we'll get shut down, because they will not allow us to buy metal with a credit card. However, because Easy Shopping Cards already exists, you can load your ESC wallet, and then we can get that admin to transfer the money to your e-wallet. So we're working on that. We will have some little videos on that. And yes, I will call you tomorrow, or we'll organise a time tomorrow. We can step you through the whole process from credit card to metal at the end. We'll get that done for you. So remember, you've got to be qualified to benefit. So you're going to get paid just for buying your own metal. This is very, very exciting. And I hadn't even thought of describing it like that until just recently. I was asked to present to another group about what we were doing. And one of the ladies in the Zoom meeting said, so you're paying people to save in gold? Yeah, I suppose we are. It's exactly what we're doing. And we will continue to do that. It is this system was set up because of our past, where nobody cared about the little people. This is designed to help everybody. You don't have to be a network marketing guru. You don't have to have $7 million to invest in metal. You can make money just doing it bit by bit yourself. And that's what we're setting up. Remember, the bank transfers in the shopping cart, the bank details are there. You need to make sure the reference is put in, your username or your phone number. Please do that. And we're going to show you why in a second. If the reference is wrong, it will not get allocated to the correct account. Now we're going to look at the dashboard and a couple of things that are on the dashboard and why they're changing. So there's our e-wallet number. That is some of this is so new, I'm struggling to come up with a simple explanation. What goes in the e-wallet is money, digital dollars. So in a few weeks, that's all going to be directly spendable in this system. So what you earn, you can turn it back into metal. What you earn in the gold or silver wallet is metal. But what you earn in the e-wallet, technically currency, you can switch it into gold or silver. And you can see that it stores the metal down to 7 decimal places. We've stuck with that because that's the number that the vault uses. We're matching their system. And we hope that that lets us tie our audits in to their numbers easier, because it'll be easier to see if it's exactly the same number. We currently in the website have a couple of issues which are in the process of fixing, and we really came up with the answer after 3 or 4 weeks of arm waving, jumping up and down, heated discussions, trying to work out why the 7 decimal places didn't work. And when Cassie worked it out, being the bookkeeper that she is, don't argue the numbers with Cassie, she was the one that worked out why the 7 decimal places didn't add up. Now you might think, okay, but heck, 7 decimal places? What does it matter? Like the last 3 or 4, they hardly count. That's right, on one transaction. But what happens when you've got 1,000 people that do 50 transactions each? Now your decimal places start to add up, and they become a problem when they don't balance. Here's the next one, the loyalty pool. We've put that in the dashboard because that will show you that the loyalty program actually has money in it. Actual money. So that will accrue day to day, week to week, month to month. And at the point where our first qualifiers come into play, the money will be split up based on how long ago they started, what the turnover was that month, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There is a formula. We will put it on the website. But that money will be all split up amongst the qualifiers. So, for example, if there was a split up today, being the end of the month, that there was only one qualifier and this money was to be paid out, that one qualifier would get $280.95. It's a pretty good deal. Now, we don't know what that number's going to be going forward, but if you're spending $100 a month and you get $2 from the loyalty program, that's 2% a month. Do the maths. That's pretty good. And whilst it seems like a silly number, $2, it's 2% a month. Okay, so here's your little picture on the dashboard. I was looking for something to put up there just to show people that you can change the picture. And I just like that little ABC bullion bar. You can put any picture there that you want. So as long as it's not 400 meg or something like that. But it's very easy to change your picture. You click on the purple button there, View Profile. You can change that picture anytime you like. On the right of that are the links that you can give to people to register. So it's really easy. Copy that link. You'll find, if you're a bit technical at all, you'll notice that those links are identical up to the point where it's my username and then it's /L or R. L for left, R for right. So that's the only thing you need to remember how that works. You can copy it directly from there. Just to the right, I blew it up as big as I could so it was easy to see. But just to the right of that red box is a little button that you can just click on it, and it copies that link onto your clipboard and you can paste it into an email. Really, really simple. So it is coming together. It is working. Let's get amongst this. Now, bank transfers. Back in December, we have an individual that sent $300 to the AU4U wine fund. The reference they used was asset. We have not found this person yet. Without an account to allocate that to, that's what it becomes. There is nobody at this point proving who owns that $300. So please pay attention to what you put in. Getting started at the moment, really, really simple. You can register for free or buy a starter voucher. The voucher's $300. All of that will come back to you in metal. You get $100 worth of metal right off the bat. You will accrue the rest as you go. Make sure you acquire 1 BV of metal a month. Please do it before the 20th. As Brad said, do it the first week of the month so it's done. Just make sure that you understand how to do it. And if you choose to, share the value of gold and silver with others. Teach them how to save. That simple. Not difficult, really basic. We've made it as simple as we can. Now, the other thing that comes out of that is that when you look at how do we do that, how do we make sure that you can get all this to work? Pardon me while I just got distracted. Someone sent me a text message. Who knows, I'm on the webinar. I thought it might have been relevant. And no, it wasn't Kate that did that one. Unless there's another Kate. Okay. Really simple. Now, we have somebody on the call that this is a message without notice. We had someone that was going to do a how to understand the compensation plan. And after reading the compensation plan and looking at it on the website, he decided there's no point in doing that because it's really, really simple. It's easy to understand. It's on the website, ladies and gents. You can download it, you can read it, you can do whatever you like. If you need help, please reach out. Here's our new picture of our shirts. We've got some shirts in stock. In men's, we've got medium, extra large, and 3XL. In ladies, 2 size 12s, a 14 and a 16. Now, I know that Cheryl is coming down and she wants to take some shirts back. We'll send up, Cheryl, if you let me know what size you think there in the ladies you'll need, we'll send one up for you to do a show and tell up there so the ladies can decide what sizes they want, etc. And we'll get them ordered for you so they're here when you come down. Don't forget the quals. We are really happy with what we're doing with Wildlife Queensland. They are so pleased that we're doing it. If you can afford to adopt a qual, please do so. Whoops, sorry. It costs about $60 minimum and up to as much as you want, but There you go. Doug and Jenny adopted one tonight. Well done. Did you get the package with the little quoll dude in it? Excellent. We'll be able to have barbecues where we all bring our quolls along. Very good work. We will have one of the guys from Wildlife Queensland on for an interview very soon. Okay, every week, every single week, the information we see gets worse. Don't panic, Jonesy. We got gold and silver, baby. Real, physical gold and silver. Yep, we'll have to get an extra sausage for those little guys. Graham, well done. Real, physical gold and silver. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe in this. We believe in taking everybody with us as we go forward. We are working absolutely as hard as we can to get this completed. And I'm excited about it to the point that I can't tell you how exciting what we've got coming is going to freak people out, I think. So that's it for tonight. Is there any other questions? Anything else you want to ask? Enjoy it when we've got some good information to go out to you. We will have some more in the coming couple of weeks that I can't tell you about right now, but every day we are moving into new territory, things that nobody else has done before. And I've always been an outside of the box thinker. So when someone says you can't do that, I want to know why. Just because it's difficult doesn't mean you can't do it. So thanks everybody for joining us. I don't see anybody unmuting. No questions coming up. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you on the golden beaches of the world.